Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Not so long ago, I was much like some of you. Not at all sure of what to do for the future. And I studied a wide range of CXCs at the Lodge School, not really geared in any particular direction. I enjoyed music, and I played with the band at the Lodge School, which was great, actually. And I also continued to play music with the band at the Barbados Community College, where I went on to do my associate degree in English literature, history, and IT. I also had my own bands for some time. Back then, I could have probably pursued a career in music or used my degree to do something in a related area. I went on to study sports medicine in order to support myself while I was investigating different ways of taking care, maintaining myself, my own body. So, here I am today, addressing you in this forum, TEDxYouth Barbados, as a trained and qualified doctor of traditional Chinese medicine, fluent in the Chinese language. How did this happen? I remember back at BCC, in English Lit, we were assigned to read a book called Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. You can read it. And I identify very much with the feeling of going through life without much background, without much direction or understanding of the situation. This impacted on me and prompted me to look for ways of using my time on the planet productively. I was only 20 years old, and I found that I was not happy with my own state of health and well-being. I started to look for ways of dealing with my flat feet, my aching knees, my back was hurting. 20 years old, I decided, okay, I've got to learn to seek more and seek to learn more. My research led me to look for some more old school ways of healing health culture and healing practices. I decided I wanted to study some indigenous health culture. Simply put, this would be studying health practices and ways of living life found in cultures of indigenous people in our world, whose cultures and traditions have been preserved from the influences of the dominant cultures of modern times. My first instinct was to go to Africa, which might have allowed me to explore the ancestral knowledge from my father's side, or, inspired by yoga and Ayurveda and Krishna consciousness, I thought I could go to India. Maybe I could study with the American Indians or the Maoris of New Zealand. I even considered rabbinical studies, going to learn Hebrew so that I could read some original indigenous texts, like my Turkish grandfather on my mother's side. In all these places, for sure, I would have found indigenous traditional health culture that could have helped me and suited the needs of how to live better. Instead, and let me go back here a little bit, let's see what's going on here. Instead, our beautiful Barbados, studying in China, instead, it took me to China. Destiny took me to China, where I'm thankful to have had the opportunity to study traditional Chinese medicine. The opportunity did so not only to satisfy a personal quest, but also a commitment to bring back to Barbados a system of healing and knowledge of holistic quality of living drawn from studying practices of indigenous health cultures. What is traditional Chinese medicine? Well, traditional Chinese medicine is a body of medicinal knowledge originating with the early peoples of Asia, which can be traced back as far as 5,000 years. This knowledge, which consists of the customs and practices of Chinese medicine, has been preserved by the Chinese people, but not only for their use, but for the benefits of other cultures of the world. Traditional Chinese medicine is so established and effective today that in Asia it's the main method of healthcare. Recently I was looking through again the Yellow Emperor's classic of internal medicine, and I found, which is a book, a text, approximately 3,000 years old. And I find saints or sages of ancient times passed down this knowledge so that we may not become sick through weakness or different changes in weather and environment. So this is knowledge that I went looking for in the ancient cultures of the world, and that they documented from their ancestors, and perhaps all of our ancestors, that they preserved for us to be able to use and study and learn about, to learn more about how to live in life today. I quote also, what is Chinese medicine? For this, I quote also from the this year, September 2012 edition of Science Daily, which states, Chinese medicine is not simply about treating illness, but rather about taking care of the body, mind, and spirit. Traditional Chinese medicine includes many methods, including acupuncture, including exercise therapy in forms like Tai Chi. This is my teacher here, Master Duan. At this time, he's 100 years old. This year, he's 108, and he's still going strong. I can call him on the phone right now, and he'll answer. Herbal remedies, also included in traditional Chinese medicine. And lifestyle counseling. Traditional Chinese medicine defines health as a state of balance, known as yin-yang, some of us are familiar with, representing complementary energies or substances in the body. From the same Yellow Emperor's classic of traditional Chinese medicine, I quote for you, 人生有形，不离阴阳. The meaning of this is human life has form, and you cannot get away from the concept of yin-yang. Anything with form, you can look at the qualities of this and make an assessment by using yin-yang. Here are some other examples that you can see how yin-yang is all around you in your world today. We have the plus and the minus, just like on your battery in your cell phone, your battery in your car. The negative and the positive coming together to create an energy. We also see, even if you don't use batteries, well, here we have a boy and a girl. This is also yin-yang. The boy is the yang, the girl is the yin. You are one of the other, but there are elements of both within you. Husband and wife, also an example of yin-yang. I was very fortunate, well, all my studies to find my better yin side. Night is yin, day is yang. These are the cycles of yin-yang in daily nature, occurring in nature. So traditional Chinese medicine uses yin-yang to make an assessment of an individual's balance, to make an assessment of an individual's health or well-being. Yin-yang is also in music. On a drum, the one beat, that's a yang. But without a rest after that, it's only a continuous noise. So a beat is a yang and a rest is a yin. Traditional Chinese medicine offers insight on human life and knowledge of interaction between our environment and what we eat, drink, do, think, and feel, and their effect on health and well-being. Let me show you other examples. Binary is another example of yin-yang. Here we have binary. Every single computer system that runs on binary in the world was inspired by yin-yang. The German scientist who put together the binary form, which is used in computers today, well, he states that he was inspired by the Chinese classic I Ching, often known as I Ching. You can take a look and learn about yin-yang in history. Let me talk to you about another concept in traditional Chinese medicine that you may be familiar with. There's no getting away from yin-yang though. Internal and external. Now on the external side of things, you can warm your feet to cause a change in your body. You can do exercises to cause changes in the internal of your body. Here we have qi also. Qi is known as tian qi in the weather. Tian qi means weather. Qi here is the state of the weather. Here we have environmental, also the external taking care of the internal. Here you see the old form of writing the character qi. Right there in the bottom of the character we have a little symbol. Of the one on the right hand side, we have a little symbol which is a sign of the word of a grain. So we must intake good foods to take care of our qi. Two types of qi we have. One type of qi is what we're born with, like our DNA, the ancestral that we're born with. The second type of qi we acquire from outside, the light that we see, the sounds that we hear, the music that we hear, and even interaction with friends and people around us. This is qi in the world, in the secondary qi that we're acquiring from the world around us. So make sure to create healthy environments and healthy relationships. Eat healthy food to take care of your qi. I am honored to have studied traditional Chinese medicine and have remained committed to bringing back this system of body of knowledge to Barbados. I act as a facilitator, an advocate and pioneer of traditional health culture in Barbados. And I encourage you to look to traditional cultures of the world and indigenous cultures for ways of making the quality of life better right here in Barbados today. Thank you.